I have a laminated paper right next to my bed. You know, it's got some of my spiritual goals. It's got some of my goals of playing in the NBA, playing Division I basketball. You know, a lot of nights going to sleep, taking a glance at it, and it was just a constant reminder of chasing those dreams.
Every year that you go into school, you'd sit with a counselor and they would ask you like what your goals are for the year and what you want to be.
And I tell them, you know, I want to play in the NBA.
Kindergarten all the way through 12th grade.
They say, well, what's your backup plan? And I hit them with a Kobe line. Plan B distracts from plan A.
My name is Mr. Stevens. I was Dallin's 6th grade teacher at Plain City Elementary. I remember talking to that class about careers, and Dallin was adamant that he was going to go to the NBA. And I pulled up the statistics on the chances anybody goes to the NBA. And I then said, prove me wrong.
You know, we made a deal that if I made it to the NBA, then he owed me $600 and I owed him a car. I don't know why we made that bet, but it made sense to me at the time. And then if I didn't, then I owed him $600. And he's actually one of my favorite teachers, so it was something that was fun to us, but it started to make me aware of how difficult this dream actually was going to be.
But I said one of the reasons why people don't go to the NBA is because they don't have the work ethics that's required to get there.
The more he found out how hard it would be, the harder he wanted to work.
No one that I know is putting in 1,000 shots a day as a 7th or 8th grader, so I think that's just kind of a testament of how hardworking he is.
I think that's really the thing that he saw was maybe this is a goal that's going to be really difficult, and so if I'm going to get there, I really am going to have to work hard to do it.
Fast forward 3 years, I'm in the 9th grade. We're playing AAU basketball, traveling all over the country, and I have my teammates who are some of my best friends, big-time players, and going into our sophomore years, some of them start to get scholarship offers.
He's not about scores, he's not about dunks. Like there's been kids who would get scholarship offers from crazy dunks that they would throw down in the game, and yeah, he wasn't doing any of that. He's just a selfless player.
He'd get frustrated with himself after games saying, I just don't know, if I should shoot it more, if I should look to score more and do those type of things. So it was self-doubt of like, am I good enough to play at the next level? And will they actually see that I'm good enough to play based on the way I'm playing? If he didn't play college basketball, then he certainly couldn't play professional basketball.
So I think the first time that he got recognized for his potential and the way that he actually plays the game was at a game in California where he only had 2 points.
We were watching him play, we're like, who is that kid? He made every right pass, he made every right play. He had the best energy, toughest motor on the team. We have to offer that kid.
And this coach was just raving about what a great job he did and how they would have lost by even more than just the 1 point. They would have lost by a couple dozen if they wouldn't have had him as their point guard.
So when we brought him in and met with him and his mom and his dad, we talked about those things. And it was like this light bulb that went off with like, yes, like that's exactly who I am. That's how I want to play. And we told him, just trust this. People are going to see each year the value you bring.
It was a pivotal moment for me, for my life too. I feel like it taught me we all have gifts and we have things that we do really well. And when we start to doubt those or maybe not believe in ourselves, that can take us away from a path that could lead to a lot of success. And then I came up to like my mission, right? And I have everyone telling me, don't go on a mission, man, because you're gonna lose all your basketball skills. And so that was a scary instance because it was people I trusted, people I looked up to.
So when these larger schools were recruiting him and they asked him what his plans were, he told them that he was going to serve a 2-year mission, and they were really polite and they encouraged him, but they never talked to him again. And he never wavered on that. He always wanted to serve a mission. He always wanted to go out and share the gospel with people. I really don't think it set him back. I actually think it's made him mentally tougher. I think it's made him a better player.
My faith in God has always been a priority in my life. So I took that leap of faith and feel like everything's worked out so well so far. And I grew as a person on my mission and learned skills that helped me for my whole life.
In college, he's realized that, hey, man, you may have been the starter in high school and you may have been known in your community as a really good player, but you might be a red shirt, you might not get to play a single minute, and you better get to work right away because there's no guarantee that you're even going to get on the floor to play. And so when he got home from his mission, he was like, man, I have to compete as hard as I can possibly compete just to get 1 minute on the floor at BYU.
He earned a lot of things his freshman year. Even though our season didn't go the way we wanted, he was still that person that kind of kept our vibe and everything, our morale and everything high. And then the next year happened, and he had to kind of re-earn that spot. And so he has gone through a lot of different trials of just trying to prove everybody wrong.
He was one of the first ones to be like, hey, I'm coming back, right? I want to be a part of this. So guys respect him. Guys know that he's about the right things. And so he commands the room, right? He's like an extension of the coaching staff out there, whether it's in the room, whether it's in the locker room, whether it's the lounge, just hanging out. Guys just really look up to him.
There's no overseas talk. There's no G League talk. There's no, anything else. It's the NBA. And I think Dallin is the perfect, person to look at and say, oh, this person's not going to go to the NBA because he's in Utah. He's playing for a school that is just becoming part of a Power 5 conference. And you can put all these different things that can cancel somebody out, but that's not who Dallin is. Like, he takes all that and it fuels him.
God cares about things that are important to me in this life. He also has a bigger plan for me as well. And so I've tried my best to trust in him and his plan, but also understanding that I have to put the work forward myself and then leave the rest to him. And so that's been a constant theme in my life, is working like everything depends on me, but praying like everything depends on God. And so that's kind of the recipe I try and follow.